coaching for the football team in the Eagle gym.
Granite Falls. Granite Falls was here a year ago, and they're one of those teams that, like Silver Lake in the 9-man, that came here last year, 1986, fell a little bit short, but they're back and trying to win it all, and they're going against a team Ely that's really not quite familiar here that often. I think they're The Timberwolves are making a lot of jokes. That will be, of course, the name of the NBA franchise going to Minnesota. And the people up in Eagle are saying perhaps the NBA people ought to give them some royalties. But football on their mind today, and they have quite a matchup against the experience of Granite Falls. So a couple of unbeaten teams going at 13-0. That'll be quite a contest.
A couple of lopsided scores in the first two games, but yet the way the kids have played in both games. Grand Meadow didn't give up, played the second half like it was the start of a new game. Good defense. They got 7 points on the board there at the end. It was fun to watch that drive. It was fun to watch the passing of Mike and his receivers, the Hennings, the way they played. And I've seen a lot of great effort, I think, in the first couple of ball games. And the people who came out today, who braved the weather and had the opportunity to make it here to the Metrodome, along with those fans watching in on Channel 9, they've seen some pretty good play today.
No question about it. You know, these teams got here because they had a lot of heart and character, and that's a cliche perhaps a lot of times in sports, but particularly at that age, I think Jim mentioned about it when they were down at the 3-yard line or so, and he said, seniors, this is your time. If you want to get on the board, go ahead and do it. And inside of Prick Bowl 6, we're getting ready for our Class B championship game, Granite Falls against Ely. Terry Williams now joined by Dick Bremer as we play kind of rotating announcers, and good job on the field the last couple of games. Now you get your track up here at the booth.
Should be an interesting ball game. We'll see one of the best, if not the best, all-around athletes probably in this Prep Bowl, and Rick Meyer. He's an outstanding running back, and I guess there are a lot of statistics we can tell people right now about how good he is. He's averaging over 10 yards a carry. That's remarkable. And he's a very fast runner, and they say he's a good Division I prospect.
Well, 34 touchdowns on the season, so Rick Meyer, perhaps big gun it is, no question about it, for Granite Falls. We saw him last year. They took a matchup and just fell a little bit short in the championship game, but the Kilowatts hoping to finally get over the hump, but they got a big task for the Timberwolves of Ely. Rick Meyer, though, a player to watch here in our Class B championship game. He's a Division I player. They have a couple of them on that Granite Falls squad. Dave Anderson, the tight end, is another.
Regarding Rick Meyer, there's one thing that we should keep an eye out for. He's a former quarterback. He does like to throw the football. And talking to assistant coach Dean Baldry of Granite Falls, he said they've run the option quite a bit, and he likes to throw the football. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Not only is he a great runner, but he's a great all-around athlete.
Well, he has 3 touchdown passes on the season. He has completed 15, so no question about it. He can put the ball up in the air. He come up here with a 13-0 record. Ely with 13-0. They have traveled quite a bit getting here. More than 2,100 miles in the last couple of weeks, so they have crisscrossed the state of Minnesota and finally arrived here at the championship game. So they are no stranger to those bus trips.
One thing is very interesting about what's happened here so far. The team that maybe you and John had already talked about it, the team that played in this game last year has ended up winning the game. Minneota defended the championship, and of course, in that first game, you know, help me out.
Silver Lake.
Silver Lake, there we go. Silver Lake was in the game last year but lost and ended up winning it. We got a situation here. Granite Falls was in this title game last year and lost, and so they, again, perhaps have the advantage because they played in this game before.
Okay, of course, the Timberwolves from Ely, they are making their second appearance. They were in the playoffs. They were in the state playoffs of 1980. They come in here with a 13-0 record, and they are led by Lance Ron. He had, well, you talk about performances rushing. He's no stranger to that category as well. He had more than 1,200 yards on the ground and 32 touchdowns. So certainly the Timberwolves can put the ball in the end zone. They are making their second appearance in the state playoffs, but their first in the state championship game. So they're looking for a good matchup from the Timberwolves, and they have a lot of talented athletes on the squad, a lot of free sport athletes. So they are a club that they have several players who can do it all. We talk about that.
So a lot of them can play basketball. In fact, it's interesting because of the extended football season, the Ely basketball team is opening its season next Tuesday with only 5 players. We assume that maybe some of the guys from the football team will at least be able to sit on the bench, but the basketball team is really going to be stretched thin on Tuesday night.
Of course, you wonder how many times they're going to get to a state championship game of football, and if you're a senior, this is your moment. This is your time to shine, the moment you've been waiting for so many years. But the basketball season, if they lose, let's say, maybe they will, maybe they won't, but perhaps they can pick up those games later on in the season and make a playoff appearance in the state basketball tournament also here in KMSP.
It's such a remarkable feeling for these players to be in here. There's a sign down on the field, and I think it was put up by one of the Verndale fans saying, win or lose, we made it to the Dome. Just getting here to this championship game means so much, not only to the players, but to the fans and the members of the community. This is a big, big event.
Okay, we have a lot of football action here on Saturday, throughout the day for you today on Channel 9, but don't forget tomorrow on KMSP, Sunday on Fox on Channel 9, 6 p.m. It's 21 Jump Street. 7 o'clock, Werewolf. 7:30, Married with Children, the Tracy Ullman Show at 8 o'clock, and at 8:30, Duet. That is Fox on Sunday on Channel 9. But here we...
I don't think so. I think can't be scared has been our motto all year long, and that's the way the kids have been approaching it. I think they're fairly loose and ready to play.
I don't want to be the devil's advocate or anything, but the teams that have been here before both fared well in the first two games. Silver Lake was coming back.
That, huh? I noticed that too, yes. Yes. Well, we'll have to see. Grand Falls got great talent, and if they beat us, I think it will be because they're so talented, not because we aren't ready to play.
What are the keys as you see it for your ball club?
Well, it'd be nice to stop Rick Meyer, hold him under 200 anyhow. The second thing, I think, if we can control the ball a bit with our offense. We like to keep the football and take our time and let the defense rest. And if we're able to do that, that will bode well for us.
Well, we're just a few minutes away from finding out, Larry. I know it's a tense time. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. It's fun to try and find out. That's what this is all about.
Okay, Ely and Granite Falls coming up. Back upstairs.
All right, it's the Class Falls Kilowatt. Dave Brocky is their head coach. And both towns bringing good contingent of fans, and we'll be back with the Class B championship in just a moment.
I get a grape.
Dick Raymer along with Terry Williams at the Metrodome, just about ready for the Class B championship game. And you're looking at the deep man for Ely, Bob Latterell, and he's standing back at the 5-yard line and kicking it away. For Granite Falls will be Gary Torgerson. Torgerson also does the punting on this Granite Falls team. The Kilowatts had everybody bunched up around the 35. Now they spread them out, and we're just about ready to get underway. Low line drive kick. Latterell bobbles it at the 10, picks it up, takes it right up the middle. Breaking free at the 30, 35, 40. Midfield, and great field position for the Timberwolves as they work it into Granite Falls territory.
Well, sometimes what looks like a mistake and throw off the timing of the kickoff team. That's what happened here. Bob Latterell gets his own fumble, sneaks through the pack there, and then he finds open field. He's not brought down until he gets to the 48-yard line of Granite Falls. Nice return.
And the Wolves get the ball first. Handoff goes to Lance Ron along the left side, finds running room all the way down to the 41-yard line. Let's take a look at the Ely offense. And they've got 3 good, solid running backs.
No question about it. You have Lance Ron, who led the team in rushing and in scoring, and Gornick is their fullback, and Bob Latterell, who returned that kickoff. There you see the front line. They do a good job in opening the hole for those runners.
Gain of 6 on that first down carry. It's 2nd down and 4. Stelz is the quarterback. Ends off right side for Ron. He finds the going tough as the left side of that Ely defense, or the Granite Falls defense, rather, stands tough. Take a look at that defensive lineup. They're big and they're pretty tough.
Well, Tom Velde is the All-State honorable mention at the nose guard position. He had 6 fumble recoveries of the year, a tri-captain. And there you see the rest of the secondary. Rick Meyer, the linebacker, first running back, and a fine defensive squad. Give it up only 8.8 points a game.
3rd down and 2, and off left tackle, it goes to Latterell, and it will be close. They may have hit him just short. In on the tackle was Chris Anderson. We'll pause 5 seconds for station identification. This is the 6th annual Minnesota State Prep Bowl.
KNST-TV, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Fourth and very short, and the Wolves will go for it on their first possession from the 38-yard line. Dive over the top, and Ron has the first down. Lance Ron leaping over left tackle, and he's picked up the first down.
Well, nice effort. You'll see he'll just get enough momentum, and nice spring in the legs to stop there, but that was certainly enough to pick up the first down for the Timberwolves. I certainly appreciate head coach Larry Miskey coming and talking to us before the game, but they're very loose, this Eagle Club. They're talking about we can't be scared, and they're starting out well here.
Stelz back to pass, throws it out complete to Latterell, and he's bounced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. Making the hit over there, Adam Almich. All the way from Ely, Minnesota. And it's safe to assume, I think, that the majority of the fans may have gotten in town last night. Again, good representation from both towns. Pickup of 8 yards on the play. It's 2nd down and 2. John Costello, the quarterback. Sneaks it right through the middle, and he has another 1st down for Ely. Costello keeping that time, finding a seam and taking it inside the 25-yard line.
Well, sometimes when you're keying on a Lance run or Gornick or Latterell, the best thing to do is take it yourself and pick up about 4 or 5 yards.
1st down and 10 from the 24. Costello tackled in the backfield, a fumble, and they're saying that he was down. Costello, right from the snap, was hit hard and dragged to the ground.
Well, we talked about Tom Beldie, the nose guard. All state honorable mention there. You see why. He just busted right through. William Block blew right through. A blown blocking assignment, perhaps, by Ely, but a loss of 4. There he is, Tom Beldie.
6'1", 212 pounds, the senior. A loss of 4 on the play, 2nd and 14. Contact on the line of scrimmage, and that time Beldie might have been a bit too anxious. Hear about Larry Mitchke's thoughts about this big ball game and the championship game for Class B.
Well, I think the biggest thing that the fans have to look for in this game is our ability to stop Rick Meyer, the 2-time All-State running back from Granite Falls. And then the tight end also, Anderson, is going to be a real problem for us. And if we can control those 2 people, I think we have a chance in the ball game. Otherwise, I'm afraid she's going to be way too in.
Kind of think, Perry, that the game so far has gone very much in Mitchke's game plan because he's kept the ball away from the Granite Falls offense. A somewhat time-consuming drive. Costello to the end zone. Caught and down at the 1. Great reception by Bill Mobilia, the junior, leaping high and pulling it down.
Well, he pulled it right away from Tony Ladner, who was there. Pretty decent coverage by the defense, but you see the 6'1" man out jumping the 5'10" man, and that was the difference as they're down to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1. Strong right formation, and now flags are thrown as, again, we may have had some movement along the line or some contact. The Ely Timberwolves are applauding, and Costello is consulted. That'll move it half the distance to the goal. So 1st and goal from about a foot away. 8:14 left in the 1st quarter. The Wolves taking the opening kickoff and have marched it inside the 1-yard line. Costello to run, and he's in for the touchdown. Lance Ron crashing over from a yard out, and the Ely Timberwolves take the early lead.
Well, very impressive drive by the Timberwolves. They had the advantage of a nice return on the kickoff, and then they just marched to 48 yards, and the last one by Lance Ron, scoring the 33rd touchdown of the season.
And Ely will go for the 2-point conversion here. Phelps hands off right up the middle and held shy. I believe it was Ron. Tom Gornick, the ball carrier, and he's held shy. It's 6-0. Ely with 8:09 left in the 1st quarter. We'll be back with more from the Metrodome in just a moment.
Call these nice folks.
Ely leading Granite Falls 6-0, taking the 1st drive, marching 49 yards for a touchdown. The 2-point conversion no good. And now Bill Movich will kick it away for the Ely Timberwolves.
With 9 plays, 3:51 off the clock. Well, we talked about Ely and crisscrossing the state. You know, their last two games in the playoffs.
Short kick off the side of the foot. It bounds at the 25 and goes out of bounds. And Granite Falls will reset, and Ely will kick it off again.
Get back to that road trip. Their last two playoff games were against Graham Breckenridge and finally Swanville Gray Eagle, and that was more than 2,100 miles. And Steve was saying they spent a lot of time on the bus. They played a little cribbage, a little music, but not too loud. And they got to see what winter wheat was. They said they're really not a farming community. We're in the wilderness. But here they are in the Metrodome, and with a 6-0 lead. So perhaps the team reflecting the very colorful personality of its head coach, Larry Mischke, in his 13th year. Fine record up there.
Senior Bill Movich will try one more time. I imagine this is quite a bit different, too, for the Timberwolves to use their kicking game on this artificial surface rather than the frozen ground up north. High end-over-end kick, taken at the 25 and right up the middle, 30, 35, and across the 40, still running as returning the ball for Granite Falls, Adam Almich.
Well, he took it on the run, and he had the momentum and the wedge in front of him, and cuts back, he finds a little bit of hole there, and powers his way down to the 45. So both teams with good kickoff return.
Good field position for the Kilowatts as they start from the 46-yard line. Tony Ladner is their quarterback. And there's Rick Meyer. Right away up the middle he goes and almost breaks free down to the 36-yard line. He runs the 40 in 4.6, and he blew through a hole on the right side and moved it into Ely territory.
Well, there you see the Granite Falls offense led by the talented running back Rick Meyer, who and those horses up front, they do such a great job and sometimes overlooked. It's only a jersey-saving tackle by John Costell to save the touchdown.
Option right side. There's Meyer again. Working on the outside. He's got the sideline. Bounced out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Finally making the hit across the way, Dan Toonhorst. But Rick Meyer, on a couple of first drive carries, has moved Granite Falls into good field position.
Well, the first play, they operated out of the wishbone, this time out of the dual backfield, and Meyer bounces it up to the far sideline, and a nice gain down to the 14-yard line.
Now 1st and 10 again. Meyer, 2 carries for 46 yards already. Tony Ladner, senior quarterback, brings them to the line. Again, Meyer off right tackle. Hit hard at the 11-yard line and stopped right there. Making the big hit for the Timberwolves, Bill Movich. A gain of 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7. There's the Ely defense. The front and the secondary. A lot of these players, of course, playing both ways. Movich making the tackle on that last Rick Meyer run. 2nd down and 7 from the 10-yard line. Trying the left side, it goes to Matt Johnson, and Johnson slices inside the 10-yard line down to the 7. Good defensive pursuit by Granite Falls, or by Ely rather, the tackle by Mike Horvath. Now 3rd down and 4.
There's Bill Movich, the senior. Got a hold of that jersey there, helped on the play.
What do you think, Rick Meyer here?
I think they'll go option again.
3rd down and 4. Option left, handoff to Meyer inside the 5. He's close to 1st down yardage before being pushed back again by Movich. Granite Falls driving inside the 5-yard line. We'll see where they spot the ball. They need to get just about to the 3. I think they've got it by the length of the football, and they do give them the 1st down. Rick Meyer averaging a touchdown every 6 carries through the regular season and through the playoffs. A remarkable runner. And he's carried the bulk of the load here on Granite Falls' first possession. First and goal from the 3. Ball at the near hash mark. Ladner sets them up. Meyer up the middle for the touchdown. Rick Meyer from 3 yards out, and the game is tied at 6.
Well, there's a little question who's going to get the ball. Nice block up there by Torgerson, which helped open the way on the trap, and that's allow Meyer to get in. Now watch this play by number 42. I can't see it from this angle, but it helped with the linebacker, and the Rick Meyer finds the end zone for the 35th time this season.
Terry Torgerson on to add the extra point. With snap, the hold is down, the kick is up and good, and Granite Falls takes the lead 7-6 over Ely with 5:31 left in the first quarter.
As you are about wetness.
54 yards in 6 plays for Granite Falls. The extra point has given them the lead, 7-6.
Well, the bulk of it as expected on the running of Meyer, Rick Meyer. Mentioned Granite Falls here a year ago. They lost a tough contest to Watertown Mare, led then by Jimmy King. Now playing for the University of Minnesota.
Ferguson will kick it away. Latterell is back. Short kick. Fielded by one of the up men at the 28. 30 to the 35, and at the 37, a hard hit. Making the return was Kirk Marlowe. Not quite as good a field position for Ely this time, and they'll set up their offense. And so far, it's been an offensive show here in the first quarter. Not a lot of passing by either team.
Well, both teams are pretty well run-oriented. If anyone does pass, it's probably Granite Falls a little bit more than the Timberwolves, but I'd imagine the way things might be going, it'll be a quick game because the teams are run-oriented. The clock will keep running.
Castells handing off to Latterell, and he's hit behind the line, and is lucky if he got back to the line of scrimmage. Jim Gilliland is downstairs with a special guest. Or 2, or 3, or 4.
Well, all of you had thought that you're going to have to wait for pro basketball to hit town to see what a Timberwolf looks like. You're wrong. This is a Timberwolf, indigenous to the northern Minnesota Boundary Waters area, and the Ely High cheerleaders. Girls, did you have any trouble getting down with the weather?
It was difficult. There was a lot of accidents. We were kind of scared, but we made it, and we're happy.
They wouldn't have missed it for the world. Ely is here, and they're in the ball game, trailing right now 7-6. Back upstairs.
Just a few accidents. Nothing serious.
Well, we're glad everyone could get here safely, and they're coming down later. Please be careful when you drive. I was out a little bit at halftime of one of the games, and there's one of the injured players. It's really tough to sit on the sideline of a state championship game. Do your best giving the moral support to your teammates out there.
Big play here now for Ely. 3rd down and 11 after the incomplete pass attempt to Lance Ron. John Castells setting up the offense. Right up the middle it goes. And stopped again right at the line of scrimmage. At Granite Falls defense is hanging tough. Kirk Marlowe, the running back. Not much running room. A gain of maybe a yard or so, and we'll have our first punt of the day.
Well, I mentioned both teams run-oriented, particularly Ely, and the 3rd and 11, they go with the draw play, trying to get Granite Falls in a pass defense. And now they have to punt it away on 4th and 10.
Mike Horvat averaged 23 yards a punt during the season. It's an end over end that should get a big hop. Boy, a mile high in the air inside the 30-yard line. It's down at the 26-yard line. 3:47 left in the first quarter. 7-6. Granite Falls over Ely. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Through its heart, you're history.
Speaking of Channel 9, KMSP Television has purchased the broadcast rights for the 1987 Minnesota State High School Prep Bowl. No broadcaster, rebroadcaster, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this copyrighted telecast is permitted without the written authority of KMSP Television or the Minnesota State High School League. Certainly, the Hankies are in vogue this fall, aren't they?
I think just about every team has brought their own rendition of the Homer Hanky. Jumping offside and I think making contact, Steve Mayala of Ely. And that might cost the Timberwolves 5 yards. Offsides is the call. That's not a Homer Hanky. That's a penalty flag. Ely, I know, has brought down their version, the Howl Towel. That's their version of the Homer Hanky.
That's the Kilowatt fans. It must be the Kilo Cloths. I don't know what
something like that. I'll buy that. 1st and 5 now for the Kilowatts. From the 33-yard line. In motion is Shimming. Meyer fumbles the ball, and Ely has recovered, I believe, at the 35-yard line. Timberwolves get the football. Meyer never got the handoff. And making the recovery, Travis Warren. First turnover of the football game.
There's he the give to Meyer, and just doesn't quite get the handle, and Travis is there alertly to pounce down on their first turnover of the contest and take another look from this angle. You'll see Rich just doesn't quite have it in the breadbasket, loses control, and breaks for the Timberwolves. They're on the 34-yard line.
Trailing 7-6, 3:28. Clock running in the first quarter. Costello hands off, left side. The surge goes forward. Lateral, the ball carrier, down to the 30-yard line. Costello looking to the sideline. Larry Mischke calling the plays from the sideline. Listen to John Costello as he talks about life in Ely.
Especially in the summertime, it's beautiful up there. It's nice wilderness and stuff, and just mostly fishing is probably my funnest thing to do, and hitting all the lakes up there and kidding. And I work for an outfitter, so I get to do a lot of that kind of stuff.
Lance Ron with a bull run all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Well, Ron likes to run. There's John Costello, and typical Minnesotan, I guess, loves to fish in the summertime. Take a look at that run by Lance Ron. Takes it down to the 21-yard line. Nice hole, nice blocking on that far outside, and Rick Myers there to finally bring him down.
Look at the extra yards, though. It's still keeping his feet. He picked up an extra 5 yards.
Good effort.
1st and 10 from the 20. Costello on the option, almost trapped. He's in a lot of trouble. And he's finally dropped for a loss. Back at the 22. Meyer making the final hit. But credit the front of that Granite Falls defense for putting on the heat. First man there was Chris Anderson, I believe, who almost got him about 8 yards deep.
Then Ladner maintains his territory, stays at home, moves him back in the center part of the field, and Myers there to finish it off.
Loss of a couple, 2nd and 12. Got a timeout of some sort called. Now we're ready. Minute 50 left in the first quarter. Each team scoring in its first possession. Costello with Gornick and Ron in the backfield. This is Lance Ron, and he's hitting the backfield and dropped for another loss of a couple. Great pursuit by the Granite Falls defense. Tom Velde, the first man there. And it will be 3rd now and 14.
Well, Velde already with the big day, and there you'll see he'll play off not one but 2 blockers, and you got a feel for Mike Clune, who's the center for the Ely offense. He's got his hands full. Done an easy job.
Big down for Costello. 3rd and 14. Going deep. In the end zone. Touchdown. Great grab. Bill Movich leaping up high and pulling it down again in the end zone. And Ely has the lead. 24-yard touchdown pass. And Bill Movich can go up and get him.
Well, both completions of note so far have been very similar. Pretty good defense here. It's just the Timberwolves have the size and the leaping ability to put it down and grab it in. And this time it was for the touchdown. As the 6'1", 170-pound senior puts the team back in front.
Big Bill Movich will get a well-deserved little breather here. Good throw, too, by Castells. He put it up there for his big guy to grab.
Good execution, and no question about it. The Almich was there, but at 5'8", he just does not have the size to compete with the 6'1" receiver.
Drive covering 35 yards in 5 plays, cashing in on the Rick Meyer fumble. And it's now 12-6. And a timeout's been called, as Ely, we assume, will set up for the 2-point conversion again.
We talked about during the 9-man game, having the coaches in the huddle, which you see in high school, and it is a learning experience. The coach can get out there and bring the point home to his players. Harry Shula, congratulations and for a job well done. Speaking of excitement, don't forget the season premiere of The Next President. 5 p.m. Sunday as David Frost talks to President Reagan. The Next President coming up tomorrow, 5 p.m. on KMSP.
I don't think Mr. Reagan can run again, can he?
Can't run again, but I'm sure he has a lot of insights. And
okay.
We probably want to know about prep.
Castells back throws for the 2-point conversion, and it's good. Mobilia this time went up to pull it down. And it's 14-7. Ely with the lead, and they're doing it through the air.
Well, we talked about they're a run-oriented team, but it's been the aerial attack, surprisingly, that has put the Timberwolves in front, and it's also their leaping ability. What a catch this is. He actually almost made it on his back. So, Mobilia and Movich doing the job, and Castells is getting the ball there.
A good first quarter for Ely. Coming into this game ranked 7th, but undefeated at 13-0. Granite Falls undefeated and ranked number 1 in the state.
The Almich
to kick it away is Movich. And for the return, it's Adam Almich, but this one is off the side of the foot again, out of bounds, and this time out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Jim Gilliland has some more guests along the sideline. Jimmy?
Well, you might have a little bit of imagination to know what a Timberwolf looks like, but a kilowatt? This young man is Mike Dees, is it, Mike? Mike talks normally, but when he's dressed up as a kilowatt, he doesn't talk about it much. Let's meet the cheerleaders quickly.
Becky Bear, I'm a junior. Steph Hardy, I'm a junior. Heidi Hilda, I'm a junior. Lisa Martinson, sophomore. Sue Anderson, a senior. Terry Dellis, junior.
How about that? 5 out of the 6 have a chance to return to yet another prep bowl, and they're trying to root their kilowatts on to take that Class B crown. Last year, they came up 1 game short. Back upstairs.
All right, thanks, Jim. Last year, losing to Watertown Mayor 29-6, and I was wondering about this. They were resetting for the kick, but Granite Falls has the option of taking it at the spot it went out of bounds, and pretty good field position to start with at the 42-yard line.
Oh, take it bird in hand situation and kick one off the side of his foot out of bounds. And see Rick Meyer and the Granite Falls offense for a second time. Shaping up to be a real good ball game.
14-7, Ely out in front. Sonny Ladner coming up to the line of scrimmage. Meyer holds on this time. He's tackled, though, at the 45-yard line. Good hit by Travis Warren. Gain of only 3 on the play, and we say only 3. You hold Rick Meyer to 3 yards, and you've done your job.
Well, he's the leading rusher of any player coming into this Prep Bowl 6, any division, and one of the top in the state.
It's remarkable. In his high school career, Granite Falls is 51-2. He's not used to losing. Of course, one of those losses was last year to Watertown Mayor. Option right side. Ladner will keep. He's got running room. A first down and more down to the 41-yard line. Finally wrapped up along the far sideline by Brian Wren. Ladner that time keeping. And picking up a first down.
Now this time they go with the option, and for good yardage, a lot of people keying on number 22, Meyer, but Ladner takes it. And first down yardage for the Kilowatt.
First and 10 from the 41. They don't throw often, but fairly effectively. High percentage of completion. And he wants to throw now. Deep. And caught for the touchdown. Dave Schimming takes it all the way in on a perfect strike from Tony Leitner.
Well, 41 yards, and watch Leitner. He'll drop back and play action, and Schimming will beat the cornerback and make a nice grab, fingertip grab. He had good concentration on the effort, and he barrels into the end zone for a 41-yard touchdown as Granite Falls comes right back. We have a shootout here in the first quarter.
It is Dave Anderson who hauled in the touchdown. The kick is up, and it is no good. The extra point attempt is missed by Torgerson, and Ely leads it 14-13.
Okay, we should say, yes, this is number 83, Dave Anderson. You'll see he's snuck out on the left side of your screen, cut back to the sideline, and he was right there. Watch the fingertip grab. Good concentration. Touchdown.
We'll be ready for the start of the second quarter in a wild game. Ely leading 14-13. Kramer and Perry Williams along with Jim Gilliland down along the sidelines. Granite Falls trailing by a point in what has been so far a wild first half, a wild first quarter. 14-13 our score.
Well, both teams surprising. Big aerial show. We've seen it from Stelz, from Ely, and Tony Leitner answering on the other side with Granite Falls, 14-13. Both teams say they feature the ground game, but it's been the aerial show so far that has been most successful.
Torgerson will kick it away. Lateral is deep, and Lateral steps up to take it at the 13. And hit as he gets across the 25. Adam Almich with the tackle. Dave Brockie with some comments about this big ball game here.
An unusual amount of talent for a small school. Rick Myers being recruited by Minnesota, I think will be a scholarship player. Dave Anderson, All-State tight end. Tom Beldy, another tackle. Colson, All-State, honorable mention. A lot of people returning from last year, so for a school our size, a remarkable amount of talent.
To Stelz on first down, handing it off right up the middle. It goes to Tom Gornick. Very little running room as he gets it out close to the 30-yard line. There's Dean Baldry, the assistant football coach for Granite Falls, and he's the one signaling the plays, the defensive alignment in from the sideline. Gain of only a yard on the play. Second down and 9. Handoff goes to Lateral. He breaks free at the 35 and is finally anchored as he approaches the 40.